campers, I'm Lester. No, I am not a city, that's my name. If you're enjoying the music that you're hearing, that's good, because I was the one that made it. Check out my music on SoundCloud, if you feel like it. Shameless plug over. Without further delay, I'm here at gunpoint to introduce this week's Benny Shakes Things Up. Without further ado, here's Benny.
Hello.
Hello.
You're right. This is season 2, episode 3.
Very exciting.
Oh, perfect. We've got 3 viewers. Perfect.
Brilliant already. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Hello, 3 viewers.
Yeah.
Hope you're all well.
Are you all right, Mark?
Yeah, pretty good. Work, usual stress, but looking forward to the summer. I think, despite the forest lockdown thing, I don't know how it's going to affect Bradford Fringe, but looking forward to being involved somehow.
We will find out. So we're here today to interview Don Biswas. He is a comedian. He's been on BBC. Can you read that, Mark?
So his debut Edinburgh show, Left-Wing Conspiracy Theorist, with Dyspraxia in 2017 was critically acclaimed and led to numerous appearances on the BBC Asian network. Yeah. He's a fantastic actor. I've seen his Edinburgh show before and I absolutely loved it. He's a terrific act. He's headlined for Laugh Fable before as well.
Yes. Shall we stop talking and bring the main man on himself?
Yes, 100%. Let's do it.
There we go.
Hello, Don.
Hello, guys. How you doing?
Yeah, all right. Not too bad. If you are watching, please share the video and keep commenting. Hello, Audra. And
good evening.
Hello, Mark.
Hello, Mark.
Mark plug, yes. We won't go
That's going to be my new stage name because every one on the disability side.
Shut up. Let's get on with the show. So welcome, Don. Before we get started, the first question we like to ask, because we're a disability podcast, we would like to know, what is your disability?
Obviously, you can tell I'm Asian. No, that's not. My disability, it's more of a neurodiversity, which is a disability. I've got mild Asperger's. I've got dyspraxia, which is a learning difficulty that affects my coordination and organization. And I've got ADHD.
Cool. With ADHD, you don't look like the type of bloke who keeps jumping about. Is it mild or?
It's mild, and the thing is, it's like a hidden. So for me, I'm not a hyper, but I'm very impulsive. I always channel hop and stuff like that. I've got no impatience. I've got no patience. So for me, it's less of a hyperactivity and more impulsive. So I spend a lot of money on stuff I don't need to spend money on. So stuff like that. I channel hop all the other time. I can't finish a book. So I probably won't finish this podcast either. I'll probably just leave halfway through it. So
that's fine. That's fine. You can if you want. I'm sure Mark will speak for you. Like he does.
No, Don. Like Benny's going to kick me off before you leave. Trust me.
Yeah.
That's right. I've got to go now. Sorry.
So how does that affect you growing up with all your disabilities?
I spoke about this when I did the interview for the Skinny last week, and I think it's affected me because of intersectionalities. basically, I come from a strict middle-class Indian family as well. Not so much strict now. So you had a one-size-fits-all parenting policy to do everything you can to make sure that your children get graduate jobs, lawyers, doctors, accountant. It's a one-size-fits-all policy, as I said. So there's no maneuver to be different, whether you're disabled, LGBT, neurodiverse. So because I came across as neurodiverse, like a learning difficulty, you couldn't tell I had. Like I had undiagnosed dyspraxia and Asperger's. I used to do things that infuriated my parents, and they couldn't tell why. Because of my lack of organisation, I used to lose things all the time. I was very untidy. So overall, my parents just thought I came across as lazy and someone who gave up too easily. So it was pretty tough because I had undiagnosed learning difficulties, and I came from a type of background that didn't allow for that. No room for maneuver.
What was your school life like? Like, did you have many friends at school, or did you struggle with that?
Weirdly, well, my best friend at school, one of my best friends at school was the guy who had special needs, so he needed the extra help. So, but yeah, when I went to university in school, I struggled. I struggled to make friends, and it didn't help with my parents were being so protective over me because of the undiagnosed dyspraxia. They just thought that they couldn't trust me to do things.
Yeah. I don't mean this horribly because I don't know the age.
No, go ahead.
Asian's background, but are your culture ashamed of disabilities, or do they celebrate it? Or are they like us? Some are ashamed and some are like, just get on with it.
From my personal experience, they're more ashamed of it. A best example of this, when my dad was alive, Dad showed a picture of me with a comedian, with Steve Best, who runs Abnormally Funny People. It's a show for people with disabilities. And took a photo of me, Steve Best, and this woman called Stella. Unfortunately, she passed away. I think she won Best Newcomer at Melbourne, and she was in a wheelchair. I don't know what exact disability was, but my dad said to me, "Why are you hanging around with those inferior people?" So he was ashamed. If you don't fit the norm of Indian culture, which is straight middle class Indian married into the culture with a respectable job, then they don't like you because they're worried what other people think. So it's very backwards.
Do you know, my dad was like that as well. I mean, he came from a traditional Catholic background. So I don't know whether it's just traditional religious backgrounds, like people are ashamed of anything a bit different. I don't know. Maybe it's not.
I must have been lucky because my mum and dad got the diagnosis when I was 3, and my mum went, "Oh well, we can get on with it." So they pushed me to do all sorts.
I think that held more. I think it's immigrant cultures in general, and also I reckon in the terms of Smark and me, where their disability was a little bit more hidden, so I don't think that helped. But having said that, I've got friends of mine who've got speech impediments, so I think probably maybe the parents could have done more to help them. So it doesn't matter if it's hidden or not hidden. If you come from the right family, which I think is traditionally maybe more of a liberal family, then I think it makes it easier in your childhood.
Oh, yeah, true.
Yeah. Because my mum was fine with me, but yes, my dad, who's more traditional, wasn't. It's really interesting, and if anyone has any thoughts on that or any, their experiences, please share.
What is Audra saying before we move on?
Woot for my dyspraxic peeps. Great with the yoga, terrible with the walking. Just a bit of a secret. I'm terrible at yoga as well. So
same here, exactly.
My parents didn't care about my disability. They just wanted to make sure I was happy and healthy. White families, I found in my experience to be more liberal. Interesting. Like, I don't know if anyone has any different experiences. Please share. We're really interested to hear.
I do know still from now that people in wealthy white backgrounds, if they have a child with a disability, it's oh go and be boarded. What is it?
Boarding school, boarding school.
Yeah,
Yeah, lock them
boarding
away.
school.
Send them off to
Oh,
boarding school.
you're 16 now. I'll go to a disabled college so I can make my millions, which
Well,
is wrong.
yeah, so I mean, actually, King George famously had a speech impediment, and they kept that. The royal family kept that very quiet for the
Yeah.
longest time until we had to start making speeches. Like,
Again, the royal family had a lot of learning difficulty people in care homes. So yeah,
it's interesting.
I
there's
never knew that.
a
I think
yeah.
with the go on, sorry.
No, gone.
I was just going to say, I think with the wealthy, I mean, you look at our privately educated people, like people in the government, even if they're not disabled, they're sent away to a boarding school. And that's when they get a bad parenting because there's a lack of disassociation and attachment. So they're there to defend for themselves. So maybe that shaped the way they run the country because
Yeah,
they haven't got that parenting. The parenting hasn't been there; it's been non-existent.
they haven't got the empathy. They were
No,
never taught empathy.
and
So,
Hundred
we've.
percent.
I think we've only got one disabled MP in Parliament, or have we got more now?
I don't
Peter
know.
Carl
I
or
need, yeah,
the guy from
I,
Brighton and Hove is dyslexic, but
yeah,
other than that, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not too sure
yeah.
actually. It'd be
I,
good to
yeah.
look into that and
I
research.
will do my research on that for
Definitely.
next podcast.
Some
Yeah,
people say that Boris Johnson is dyspraxic because he's quite dishevelled, untidy. Uh,
yeah.
hopefully not, but
No, that's just
No,
Boris Johnson, to be honest.
yeah,
no,
he's just got his own
again,
disability.
I don't know. He's just panicking over a next child he might have, fostered or somehow.
again, you've just touched on something there, Don, which I want to bring you back when you said, I hope he hasn't got dyspraxic. Um, there's a lot of people who think if you're autistic or got cerebral palsy or a disability, you shouldn't be dating, working, socializing, and I think it's wrong. And you do a lot of stuff with your comedy around politics and that. How did you get onto that?
It's well, first of all, I'm dyspraxic with coordination problems. So
Yeah.
how I got into stand up, I fell into it accidentally. So
Hey,
it's a terrible joke. But no, seriously, what happened was it was a culmination of things. In 2012, I've been going since 2017, and in 2012, I got a review from Steve Bennett which said
yeah.
I got a lot of laughs, which was nice, but all my jokes were quite hack. Indians being minicab drivers, doctors, and so forth. So subconsciously that fitted me. So, I'm not. I was doing okay, but I wasn't getting anywhere with it. So I might as well talk about the stuff I'm interested in instead of doing these hack jokes. And also, I don't want to. I talk about disability, but I didn't want to make hack disabled stuff either.
Mm,
And at the same time, I saw comedians like Steve Hughes and Doug Stanhope, but these were all like alternative political comedians. And that's what I wanted to do. I was interested in conspiracies, alternative politics, also a member of the Labour Party. So I was
mm,
interested in mainstream stuff as well. I thought, it's much more fun to make talk about a tricky subject like secret societies and make it funny than just go
mm,
down for the lazy Asian stereotype. And that's what I wanted to do.
mm.
how
Cool.
did people first respond to when you started doing that on stage?
It wasn't too bad because it was slow and it was very gradual. So what happened during that time is I started to die a few times on stage. So I was getting last, but for the transition, it means that it wasn't all the way through. Not that I had to get it all the way through, but it took a time to transition. I think the worst thing was off the stage when I started going about conspiracies. I think family and friends are right for me because I was talking about the New World Order and stuff like that, being a bit tongue in cheek, and they're worried that saying, maybe this is not the route for you. So, because at that time I was just making like little jokes, and people were like, someone messaged me about my mental health because at the time I said I've been signed up to the biggest agency in the world, the Illuminati, as a joke. Yeah. But it turned out okay because uh, I managed to make it funny. I like to think I made it funny. So, for example, with secret societies, I say if these elites want to meet up in secret, they should come to some of my gigs. No one else does. See, as long as yourself, as a political comedian who's unknown, as long as you're self-deprecating and you make it about yourself, you can't really lose.
No. And to be honest, I think the more disabled people get on stage, the better, because people will open their eyes and go, well, I might actually date one of a person with disability. They sound quite cool. Not, oh no, I won't go out with a disability. They're a bit scary. I don't know about you, Don, but with me, the world is still on that balance where they're still scared of the word disability. And no, I respect these people. Would
Yeah,
you reckon?
it's a hard one. I mean, there's so much to do still. There's so much more work,
Mm,
and I was thinking about this because I went to a pub group, and for people with autism, we go every
mm.
month, and Asperger's, and we got approached by people from Undateables.
Oh
Say,
yeah,
say if you wanted to come on to that. So when you got shows like that, it doesn't put disabled people in a good light. I think it's got better as a show, but still.
it has. I will not go on that show.
I've seen it as well. It's no.
I might be saying the wrong thing, but we will roll with it. I'm not that desperate to meet a person to
Exactly,
get. Yeah, gone.
and with the way they edit it as well. So
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I think it's like the Big Brother thing, but for disabilities, like the Victorian Freak Show, and like we're seeing that's how it's viewed
I'm
as.
glad you
100%.
said it. I'm glad. See, he said it, not me. He said
And
it.
there's a book called Freaks, Geeks, and Asperger's
Yeah,
Syndrome. So actually, we're
yeah,
reclaiming that. But no, I'm not sure what you think, Don, but I just feel like we're like caged animals on TV that people to
yeah,
ogle at and to laugh at. I don't know.
yeah.
That's how I see Undateables.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's got slightly better, but it's still it's there people to laugh at, along with the people who audition for X Factor and stuff like that. Yeah, it's yeah. I mean, you had this
Uh,
guy. He's from Leeds. I think he had a really severe learning disability, and at first, it was people were just laughing at him. So
mm,
yeah, I don't think it's done much to help. Actually, come to
mm,
think of it, to break
yeah,
down barriers.
we, I don't know if we've done this question. How does your disability affect your day-to-day living? Because you've on the website it says you've had several jobs and it didn't work out. Was that because of your disability?
Yeah, it's for sure. I mean, being on the spectrum and having dyspraxia means that I'm not great at multitasking.
Right.
So, and I can't do a high pressurized job, which
No.
involves multitasking and looking after the team. I did a job in a agency as an admin assistant, and they just wanted me to do everything, like the post room,
Yeah.
pack gifts for the clients, do
Mm,
databases, and for a neurotypical person, usually that won't take that long. For me, it took me ages, and I just got sacked for being too slow. So
yeah.
I mean, from a day-to-day basis with my disabilities, having the ADHD means I really struggle to finish tasks off. So it takes
Right.
me ages just to get something done.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
surely that was like discrimination sacking you for that, or did you not have that much protection in the workplace?
It was before I got diagnosed, so that's one thing.
Oh.
So, yeah, so it's before I
Well,
got.
that is a great question. Can we go to the audience and ask Don, how does your family feel about you doing comedy?
Well, they don't know I do stand-up comedy, even after when I
Oh,
showed them one of my clips. So,
right. So you're not going to be the next Rango Nathan.
yeah,
Have I said that right? Rango
Ramesh
Nathan.
Ranganathan.
Yeah,
Well,
I can see you being the next one with your mum coming in. Yeah.
overbearing Asian mother. The thing is, if Ramesh does a bad gig, he just says, "No, I've been Don Biswas. Thanks very much." But yeah, my mum didn't like it at first, but that's the great thing about having dyspraxia. I actually can't do anything else. So during the daytime, I work in a post room and I push a trolley for a living to send stuff to clients. So it's a get out of jail free card. So she doesn't mind I do stand up comedy now because I've been through the depression. In the past, I've had suicide attempts and stuff like that, but I've come out the other way, and she knows that it makes me happy, and it's. And I talk about politics, so she likes that aspect as well. And
Yeah.
I can't do any more of a high pressurized job anyway. So it's a nice, as I said again, get out of jail free card. It's a lot harder if you're neurotypical and you want to go to stand-up comedy and you come from that strict immigrant family, because then it's going to be harder to justify to your parents to give up a well-paid job. But for me, I was never in that position.
So is your mum quite political then? Is that you get a lot of influence from her, or?
No, my mum's not pickle. My dad was. My sister is, but I don't know where I got it from. I got it from a random place. There's this author you might have heard of called John Ronson.
Yeah, I know.
He's brilliant. He did this documentary on secret rulers of the world, and then he started talking about David Icke, and then he talked about the secret society, the Bilderberg group, and that's how it got me interested. So yeah, and I think I don't know if this is autism, but when I was younger, I could name all the like Labour and Conservative MPs in the front bench when I was about 10. So I
But
think
my brother could do that as well. He can name
Yeah.
any. You give him an area, and he'll tell you what if they're Tory or Labour, and he's autistic as well. And
especially I think I had the same thing.
My friend, if you play him a little bit of a song, he knows what year, what country, what
Brilliant.
city, and all sorts. It's amazing. I've always said autism is a superpower because I've got a friend called, I forgot his name. And he's the autistic gardener. If you haven't heard
Oh
of
yeah, I've met
him,
him. Really nice guy.
yeah, I've met him.
Alan.
His mate Alan, and he's got a mate where they were in a pub playing with Lego. His mate plays with Lego. That every half hour he has to stop, get his iPad and do some digits on his iPads just to keep this satellite going around the orbit.
wow.
And he's autistic, yeah. How amazing is that? You get to play with Lego all day, and yeah, amazing.
So the thing is with Lego, it's becoming a really big hobby now for neurotypicals as well.
Yeah.
You got Lego Masters, footballers do it as well. Ed Sheeran. So I think Lego is becoming quite cool now.
Yeah,
I
it
did
is.
But so I think the next transport secretary should be autistic. I think they would be brilliant with it.
Yes, we might get trains on time for one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Before we go into any more questions, we will go through the fans questions, but it's that time of the evening, Mark and Don, where we play Jamie's Gamey. Now, if you don't know Jamie yet, he is an AAC user, so he uses a communication aid to communicate, and he uses symbols to type out what he's trying to say. So your job, Don, is to guess what the symbols are saying. It's a sentence. If you watched last week's one, you will know what these are. So here's the first one.
It's like catchphrase.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's a bit like catchphrase. Sorry, I blocked you. Let me.
Switch me and Don around. You don't need to see me for this.
No, I don't need to see you. Oh, that's better.
uh, hand-eye coordination or something?
Ooh.
No, what have we been doing for the past year?
Hand-eye.
Hand.
It's a slogan.
It's a
Hands,
slogan.
face, and space.
Yeah, well done,
Yeah.
Don. Well done.
I thought he was looking into the eye arrows. That's why I just assumed eye.
Oh,
Eye contact. There you go. Yeah. Very good.
and this one is you get you're allowed to do this now, Boris Johnson says. You can go somewhere sunny.
That is a.
You get 5.6 something at work. Has that helped?
You can no longer work from home.
Oh.
No, but I'm trying to think how
Did I was really bad? I forgot the answer to this.
Yeah, it is. I can go.
I'm on holiday.
That was tough.
It's all right. Jamie's there. What's Jamie saying, Mark?
I don't agree that's showing people we are normal. Okay, so well, I mean, there's nothing obviously wrong with us being us.
No.
But at the same time, I don't think we should be like a laughing stock. We shouldn't be laughed at for our disabilities. Laugh with us if we make jokes about it. That's why people feel awkward if you try and make a joke about your disability, but then you releases the tension, I find. I don't know.
100%. Yeah, and it gets people talking. So, yeah.
I think we've gone past this. What does it say, Mark?
Yes, also gets shown in Australia as the host is Aussie. Was that undateables?
I think that's undiagnosables.
Undateables. Undiagnosables is the name of our show, Benny, but nice plug.
Yeah.
Was going to build a parallel universe from Lego in my small bedroom when I was doing my GCSEs, but I didn't have the time and space. Love it.
There's always got to be one comment. They are all comedians.
Yeah, listening.
So over lockdown, have you suffered because of the pandemic?
Yes, I have. And like many people, I have depression. So even
Yeah,
before the pandemic, I just used to sleep all the time and still do. I need to get out of that habit. If I can't
mm,
be asked to do anything, I just have because I think I have undiagnosed OCD, so I just worry about things all the time. I have
yeah,
intrusive thoughts in my head, and then sometimes when you worry too much, it makes you tired, and so I just sleep,
yeah,
and I can't be asked to get things done. So it takes an effort. I mean, the only thing that motivates me is if I have a gig at the end of the day, and I need to stop doing that. I need to
yeah,
find motivation within.
yeah. I mean, it brings me to my next question, but just touch on sleeping. If I don't have my 1 hour of care a day, I will sleep right through till the night time
Yeah, I can do that
because
as
of
well.
my depression. Um, but that comes over lockdown. Have you had a good network of support, or has it all? Have you lost it because of the pandemic? I know you're in our support group, but have you got anyone else you can lean on?
But the good thing about pandemic is I did 2 shows a week for Stand Up for Labour.
Yeah.
So the Labour Party have been a huge support network as well
Oh,
because there's like-minded people like me. So that's been a great support. I have family and friends come over. My sister was a great help. She came over when my mum wasn't feeling well, and she just she might have mild dyspraxia, but she's on the whole very neurotypical, and she just directed us on how to clean up the house and stuff. Also because
right.
I'm really scared of her, so if she doesn't do what I say, if I don't, she's my twin sister as well. But yeah, but
Oh, we're twins. One, two, three.
3 sets of twins on one podcast. That's very
I
Wow.
rare.
know.
I think next time we need to bring our twins' photos.
Oh
Oh no,
yeah,
I was about to say
Yeah.
bring our twins along. Let's have like
yeah.
No, photos. I can't show you a photo, so yeah.
uh,
Yeah, so I'm a
Yeah.
twin as well, and she's
So,
really good with the depression and helped me and just keeping the house while living with my mum, just managing everything. So it's really
yeah. So I know we're going off topic, but go with it. So when you was you born normal or was one weaker than the other, like me and Mark?
yeah.
Mark
I
was
was
the greedy pig.
yeah, I was. No, my brother came out, for example, my brother came out like £4 and I came out at like £7. So I'd
jeez.
eaten, yeah, I know. I was huge and he needed, genuinely, seriously, he needed oxygen
Yeah.
because he came out blue. And they say light up blue for autism, but no, let's start with him. And no, but he's absolutely fine now. Do you know what? He's bigger than me now. He's caught up with me. So, but yeah,
Right
like,
on.
yeah. Sorry, Don. Yeah.
Yeah, I was 2 months premature. I think a lot of dyspraxic people are. There's a guy called John Hastings who's been on America's Got Talent, and he talks about being premature as a baby. Maybe that the lack of oxygen maybe affects dyspraxia. I don't know fully, but yeah. And I was my sister was 4.8. She was stronger than me, so she pushed me out, and I was 4.4 ounces. But yeah, we are both 2 months premature. So
Alright. I came out first and left my Zoe in there, and she's okay. The only thing what was wrong with her, she had a hole in her heart. So
oof.
Oh,
um,
yeah. No, my friend has
fine.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, it was scary.
So
So
you and your sister are quite close then, Don.
Yeah, to a certain extent. Yeah, yeah, we are quite
Yeah.
close, but she's just got a full-time job. She works in finance. So yeah, and she's got a
Wow.
kid to look after. Yeah. So
so
it's very different lifestyles we lead. I'm
yeah,
Mm.
sort of forced out the rat race. She's actually right in the middle of it.
yeah.
Wow.
So
I see.
you've only got your sister. You haven't got good friends. I know we are on a group together, but have you got a good friend you can phone up every day like I've got Mr. Buck Plug? Oh, sorry, Berkwood. Berkwood.
So as soon as he's going to stop taking your calls, it's like no, no more
I mean,
butt plugs.
I'm just trying to figure out how to block him. Once I do that,
You figure out. Yeah, I've got my mate Stephen Wicks and also my mate Rich,
Yeah,
and both. Steve's got dyspraxia. You might have met him. He's got a speech impediment as well, and because we come from similar background, not similar backgrounds, but we both have dyspraxia, and we both go through certain similar struggles. It's really nice to talk to,
yeah,
and same with Rich. And most of my friends are actually on the spectrum, so it's really good because you meet other people who are like you, so you find kindred spirits.
yeah, I
So
agree with that.
and it's the first time, like, I'm 38 now, and it's the first time in a long time I felt comfortable in my own skin.
that's really good.
Yeah,
That took me a while too. And actually, I found because at school was really hard, but I found the older I've got, I wasn't focused on trying to become popular, trying to fit in. I just ended up fitting around people who are like me. And I think
yeah,
as we get older, we care
Exactly,
less. We care
100%.
less. We
yeah.
care less when we're older. But that's
Do
really good,
you,
Don. That's really good.
do you
Uh,
know the comedy scene has gave me 100% confidence to walk up to strange comedians now and go, "Hi, I'm Benny Shakes. Where are you from?" I wouldn't have done that 2 years ago. What about
yeah,
you, Don?
Yeah, the same thing. When I was very introverted, now you can't shut me up. But yeah, I mean, like that, I couldn't talk to people. I had to come up my shell. When
Yeah.
people first met me, they thought I was very quiet, quite unassuming. So I wasn't a great performer. I couldn't make the eye contact. Luckily, I
Mm.
had a couple of good jokes. When I first started, I thought I was really good. It turns out I wasn't. So it took me time to make it. But yeah, it's taken me time. So I was the
But
same as you.
you do really well. I mean, it is taking time, but you are definitely you're doing absolutely brilliantly at the moment, Don. You're getting a lot of really good gigs. It's absolutely fantastic to see, and it's well deserved as well. Because I remember
Yeah.
seeing your Edinburgh show. I think I first met you there, and it was absolutely brilliant. What was that like when you first sort of did Edinburgh as an hour?
It was tough. I maybe could have waited. I didn't put much effort into it, if I'm to be honest. Not because I let the comedy grow organically. So when I did my first hour, it was after 10 years. A lot of comedians have like a 5-year plan. I'm going to do this. I'm going to go on social media.
Yeah.
I didn't have that drive, partly because of the depression, partly because I just wanted to let it grow organically.
Mm.
And I think it's worked out better in a way because it's made me more of a natural comedian. So
Mm.
when I got to the hour, even though I didn't prepare as much, I had the material anyway. Not an hour as such, but I had about 40, 45 minutes. And then I could do a little bit of chat to the audience. So, yeah, I just let it grow organically. And that's helped massively now. And now, like I haven't written anything in a long time, but I will write something eventually again. So I don't put
Mm.
pressure on myself. I think what I need to do is learn how to write in a more structured way. But other than that,
Yeah.
there's no worries. I just keep going.
You're
Well,
autistic and you don't write in a structured way.
well,
Yeah, dyspraxic. She's
Oh
got
yeah, it balances off.
I come up with the story and then I get other comedians to help me with the punchline, and it's fantastic because someone said it last week. Anyone can write a joke. It depends who tells it.
100%. It's
Yeah,
that
100%.
it's that charisma, it's that personality. Writing is important, but if you haven't got the
Yeah,
charisma, I think another important thing that I think a lot of disabled comedians don't have is confidence. It's just having that,
yeah,
even that fake confidence as
yeah.
well. I mean, I'm the opposite of yourself. I can come up with a punchline, but I just need other comedians to tell me the story. Uh, yeah, I come up with a load of jokes just having a conversation with friends, but
Yeah, that's
But
what happened to me. I have to write it down after, and yeah.
Sorry, I'm just looking at the time. Before we get into 2 more questions, very important question, because Kate will never forgive me if we don't do this. What is your favourite biscuit?
my favourite biscuit. Ooh, that's a hard one. Probably I like the bourbons, the chocolate ones.
Oh yes, yes,
They're lovely.
yes.
So
Yeah, I'm a big fan of those actually.
yeah,
Dunk them into my tea.
that's why
Beautiful.
I got fat during lockdown. So
Yeah, all the bourbons. Yeah. Oh, I know that feeling.
who ate all the bourbons then?
I know.
Have we done this one? I don't think we have, and I think we need to answer this. Have you ever been judged because of your disability in comedy or in a job?
I think the weirdest thing is I did a gig in a comedy store once, and it was a bit of a
Yeah,
throwaway comment. But when I was about to go on, he says, I think it was after, I don't know, but sound guy said, I shouldn't really mention the comedy store, but the sound guy said, don't talk about dyspraxia straight away. And that kind of irked me a little bit, as if I'm trying to get the
yeah,
sympathy vote. But sometimes my stage presence is perfect, and I just want to get it out there. So, but I like to think now I've got the jokes to back it up as well. So, but I think
yeah,
probably like that. But in terms of my job, I, the problem with dyspraxia is I do a joke about walking like a member of Oasis, and I was a child of the
right.
mid-90s, so you couldn't tell I had it. So a lot of people, because it's a hidden disability, a lot of people think I'm just weird from the way I
Yeah,
walk. Maybe I might talk to myself sometimes. So, so it's discrimination, but they don't know because they don't know about dyspraxia. So unless I have a T-shirt saying I'm dyspraxic, so
yeah. I talk to myself all the time, and I get some good answers.
exactly, it's
Yeah,
great. I think it's
yeah,
a great thing to do. So
it
yeah,
is. It is. It is.
Yeah.
I
So,
talk to myself all the time because there's no one else at the gig.
yeah,
So
yeah.
as got no choice.
Um,
But well, I just wanted to say one more thing. Yeah, the most
yeah,
important thing I think a disabled comic can have, and this is what the parents should teach, or even disabled people, is confidence. It took me
yeah,
ages. There's a lot of, and I don't like using this word. I don't want to divide us, but there's a lot of straight white males out there, or even a lot of comics out there who've got loads of confidence, and maybe not
yeah,
the material. You must have that. Not be arrogant, but have that unshakable confidence. Will take you a long way. That's why it's taken me the
yeah,
long way round to try and get to where I wanted to. So,
Yeah, I have that self belief, and oh my
yeah,
100%.
god, like, well, because even when I didn't do so well at a gig last week, it was the first time I had done badly in a while, so it was just trying to get used to that. But it's also trying to get used to bouncing back, because
yeah,
not every gig is going to be perfect. I've chatted to so many comedians with mental health who have had a bad gig and just let it affect them, and I used to be like that, and I've just started to get over that thing. The best advice I ever got was from a comedian called John Pendle. Absolutely wonderful
Lovely guy.
comedian. Lovely guy as well. I've had him on a podcast before. He's autistic. And he said to me, whether a gig has gone good or bad, you should only think about it until 11 a.m. the next day. And then it should just leave your head.
That's a
And
good
I
advice.
think that's really good advice, because if it's gone too well and you try to live off the euphoria, live on
Yeah,
the
that's
euphoria, you become too arrogant, and in your next gig you come crashing down. Whereas if you let wallow, then you're never going to get on stage again, or you're going to be more nervous. So literally 11 a.m. the next day, he wipes any gig, good or bad, from his memory.
just
Goes through it, and then
just
yeah.
before we go on, what's happening in the next few weeks? Um, I wanted to ask this. You, before the lockdown, you didn't have a agent, did you?
no,
Or
no.
did you? So how did you get an agent? With me and Mark, I did a gig for Susanna, and then she went, "I want you on my books." But how did your agent go? You're doing fantastic work. Can I have you?
It just came out randomly. I think they're looking for another actor. One person left the agency, and and it seemed like they wanted me. I was ready at the time, and because it without sounding cynical, I tick a lot of boxes, and I don't want to because I'm a good actor as well. But I think I had something to offer. I think that's why they all wanted to sign me. So
Yeah,
it's just right place, right time to a certain extent, and it's just through all that hard work. I mean, not hard work because hard work organically I've been doing for the last 14 years. So
No, it's a lot
and
of hard work, and you deserved
yeah,
it. You deserve it, Don. You're very hard.
yeah,
One of the most hardworking
definitely.
comedians on the circuit.
And another quick one because we haven't touched it, but I want to touch it. Black Lives Matter. How has that affected you over the year? I know you did it. You put on Facebook. I can't bend the knee because I've got a bad back. I assume that was a joke.
but I'm getting nearly 40, so I've got a bad back. But
Right.
so you want to talk to me about Black Lives Matter and how it's affected?
Yeah.
But the thing is, I've received racism in the past, but the thing is,
Right.
everyone's complaining about Black Lives Matter, but it hasn't affected anyone really. I mean, I disagree with some of the things they say, like defund the police, but people about bowing the knee. These are whatever Black Lives Matter do. It's not gonna. It's going to be a good thing because we're raising awareness for racism. Whether you
Yeah.
disagree with the organisation, we are raising awareness for Black lives,
Yeah.
which is great, and hopefully anyone who suffers discrimination. So I think
Yeah.
it can't be more than a good thing. But the people who are against Black Lives Matter, why are people worried about issues like woke politics, like transgender athletes in sports, gender neutral pronouns? Why are you worried about issues that do not affect any aspect of your life? And then you live in the town which has 10 food banks, there might be vaccine passports or erosion of our civil liberties or something else, austerity, or your local school's going to close down. And you're worried about Black Lives Matter as a white male or whatever. It hardly affects you. It's just pointless. My rule of thumb is if it affects you, worry about it, or affects your neighbours, worry about it. But if it doesn't,
Then
don't give it
shut.
attention.
Yeah.
I mean, you had the Joe. I was going to go quickly. Joe Rogan podcast said about talking about woke culture and stuff like that and political correctness. But he's got the biggest podcast in the world. And then you've got shows like the MASH Report, which barely got 1 million views. So I don't think this scared of woke culture. I don't think woke culture is prevalent as you think it is, and it doesn't affect you anyway.
And cancel culture as well. It's like people go on about cancel culture. And as you said, they're the very people who are getting millions and millions of views on YouTube. I don't have a voice. My freedom of speech has been eroded. So I'm going to say it to 30 million people.
Yeah.
I think culture does exist, but it's also on the other side as well. When Ezzy Izzard in 1989 got cancelled for making a joke about Norman Lamont. Not Ezzy Izzard, Julian Clary. So it exists on the other side as well. So left-wing people get cancelled as well. So
it's that other thing in comedy. I'm not getting booked. There's all these women gigs and disabled gigs. Where are the white people?
Are you referring to the Talk article?
They're everywhere, mate. Get real and shut up.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, there's two types of comedy now. There's for a lot of straight white males, and what I do as a comedy is more specialist. So in some ways, it's going to be easier for me to break through because there's no one like me. Not in terms of how funny they are, but when you're just a general observation comic, you have to be as good as Michael McIntyre or someone like that. That's why people like James Acaster and Sarah Pascoe done. They're fantastic comics, but they're different.
They're unique. They have their own things. So every comic needs to find their voice and be unique in their own way, regardless of their background. And you know,
I'm still finding my voice.
So am I.
since I've been back gigging now, I've started talking to the audience, and I love it. I want more of it. So
Have you got
yeah,
Lost Voice Guy next week? He can help you find it.
Hey.
well,
It's a-
it's that time of the evening where we promote. So Don, what is happening for that? Your charity is. Do you just want to tell us about your charity?
Yeah, it's. I think we did a fundraiser a few months ago for the Dyspraxia Foundation, and they do great work, especially for kids and parents who've got kids with dyspraxia. So yeah, please donate or give the money straight to me because the money's going to go to me anyway. So,
Yeah,
so I'm not the middleman. So no, but yeah, support the Dyspraxia Foundation. They help people with dyspraxia.
yeah. And what's coming up gig wise for you?
On the 5th of July, Monday, I'm at the Star Inn, the back room in Guildford, doing my hour show again. Left-Wing
Oh,
Conspiracy Theorist with Dyspraxia, added material about the pandemic and more updated stuff about Dyspraxia. So it's at the back room at the Star Inn. So if you want to come, tickets are only £9. Get them quick, not because I might sell out, because it's going to be socially distanced now because they've changed the rules
yeah,
again.
yeah.
So if you want to come 5th of July, 9 o'clock, Guildford.
Brilliant.
And you've got this amazing gig as well on Friday.
Yeah, Friday and Saturday. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, Friday's the England game, but hopefully, I think it's a really well-run club. So I think both nights will hopefully be good. So
yeah,
if
yeah.
not, I'll just forget about it at 11 a.m. and then
Yeah,
yeah, just
exactly.
yeah, that's really.
Cool.
But one thing I say about what you're saying about, I know I keep going back, Mark. If you've got a comedian with depression, you should let your happiness be swayed by your comedy career. You should find happiness elsewhere, and anything you do well in
100%.
comedy is a bonus.
Yeah, and that's why we go back to the support network. And I think that was a
Yeah.
really important question Benny was
Yeah,
asking
100%.
earlier.
But
Yeah.
another thing I got told, I know we're running out of time, but it's don't make comedy your life.
Oh,
100%.
Something else. Because I've realised over this year, this podcast is my life. If this shut down today, I've got nothing. I've got friends I see now,
Yeah.
but yeah, always have a hobby.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
like
no.
I play
Yeah,
football, even though I'm shit at it, but hey, I might get into the England squad. It doesn't matter how bad I am.
You get the Scotland squad.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But no, like I have hobbies like that, and I think it's really important to have other things. I see my friends and family a lot. Sometimes I just switch off from it
Yeah,
all. And you have
Netflix.
Netflix, and you have your photography, Benny, don't you, as well? I
yeah,
mean, yeah.
yeah.
So it's like,
I'm just gonna say sorry that we couldn't answer your questions tonight, the audience. I
oh, was it
think
quite a few?
there was, but we haven't got time to go through them. I don't think. No.
Do I get extra
No.
time? Like I did in
Well,
exam?
we can
No,
run over,
no,
but
that's fine. Like
yeah.
Lee Wigley hasn't got a voice.
Yeah. So if you want to see me, I'm doing a live gig for Pride on the 16th in Bradford. So come and see me do that if you're in Bradford.
That's
Brilliant.
Paisley's gig, isn't it?
Yeah, Paisley's Boys gig.
Yeah, it looks really good.
Fantastic.
You haven't got nothing to promote, have you, Mark?
Yeah, I do. I've got quite a bit. Oh yeah, it's only that. It's only
Oh, brilliant.
25th of June. Robert White headlining the autism special gig. And yeah, so lots of other amazing acts. So there, Paisley's on the bill.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's going to be one hell of a night. So please get your free tickets there. It's a virtual night. To get your free tickets, it's to be brilliant. It's going to be such a good night. Looking forward to that.
We've got time for one more question, and I think this is going to be a good one. If you was Prime Minister, Don, what would you change?
If I was Prime Minister, what would I change? As a conspiracy theorist, what I would change is this is not conspiracy theorist, but I'd stop MPs having second jobs, and I'll stop any big business funding into science or any walk of public life like that, because they can influence decisions. So take business out. If you want to fund universities properly, raise the taxes. Make sure all universities get equal funding, so you don't have like people like Imperial College getting outside help. And if you want to donate money to these universities, there should be a capped amount. So yeah,
100%. I like that.
Basically, stop lobbying. So.
Yeah. No, I think I would definitely agree with that.
If you want to donate to Don's charity, the link is in the comment section as well. So go along and donate to them. So yeah. Well, thank you for coming on the show. Don't go away. We're just gonna end the show, but thank you for coming on.
Thank you so much, Don.
Yeah, thanks for having us, Benny. And thanks, Mark. I really appreciate that. So
anytime, I wanted to get you on. So yeah. So bye from me and bye from
me.
Yeah.
Cheers. Thanks for having us.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm afraid that's all we have time for tonight from Benny and the gang. Please remember to subscribe and click on the bell for more notifications on the next instalment of Benny Shakes Things Up. If you want to support the podcast, or you like the jingle from Leicester in Nottingham, please click on the links below. Adios, amigos.